Good evening, everybody. Welcome to KUMB TV's Eyes Up Mother Brown, and off we go again. It's another night in the Conference League, folks. West Ham United against the mighty Silkeborg of Denmark. And the teams will be coming out very, very soon. There we go. There we are. All on telly. No DL tonight. No, I've just been reading a couple of your comments. And he's not with us tonight, unfortunately. We may be joined by one or two others of the crew as the night goes on. I'm going to shuffle into the middle. There we go. As I'm on my own currently. How are we all doing? Good evening. Welcome to everybody joining me on the live stream tonight. Let's have a quick look. I've not even had the opportunity to have a quick look through your messages yet. Let's see what's being said. Craven, good evening to Craven, to Mark, Polaroid, Dan, Tony Mitchell, APD, Alan Pardew's dad, Mark, Bob, and Rob. All the usual guys. Good to see you, fellas. Hope you're all having a good week. How the devil are you? Enjoying yourself? Been enjoying basking? Well, it's not quite warm enough to bask, is it really, in this weather? But it's not been cold. It's not been cold at all. So been very pleasant for this time of year, has it not? The garden's enjoying it. Hope you are all too. That you've managed to make the most of the weather wherever you are. Predictions. Let's have a look. What have we got so far? Have we got any predictions so far? Yes, we have. Bob Claret coming in with a 4-2 win for West Ham. We'd take that, wouldn't we, Bob? Certainly have some of that. Have we got any others? Mark Pierce going for or saying a 1-1 draw will be enough with our makeshift 11. Polaroid going for a 1-1. Not hugely confident. Craven going for a 3-1 win. Nick going for a 3-1 win as well. Oh, sorry, actually, I'll retract that. We are looking quite confident. In fact, no one predicting a defeat. Anyway, yeah, let's have a look at the team, shall we? Well, it's right up there. You can see it for yourselves. Areola back in goal. Vladimir Soufal restored to right back. Emerson looks like we might be playing a 5-3, a 5-4-1, or some sort of hybrid 5-man defence or 3-man defence, whichever way you want to look at 3-4-3. We'll have to see as time goes on exactly what David Moyes is doing here tonight. But we've got Johnson, Angelo Ogbonna, and the mystery man. There he is, look, knife at a gird, making his first competitive start for West Ham this evening. What a welcome comeback that's going to be. I'm sure he's going to get a huge round of applause from the fans. The BT are going with a 4-3-3, but I'm not quite sure they've got that right because they've got a Gerd at left back, Ogbonna and Johnson in the centre. I would imagine if we are playing a flat 4, it's going to be Johnson at left back with a Gerd and Ogbonna in the centre. Though 2 left-sided centre halves in there today. Now that must be a first or close to a first anyway for West Ham. Not often you see 2 left-footed central defenders in a team. But anyway, that's what is being predicted by TV. As I said, I'm hoping to be joined by 1 or 2 more of the team, hopefully, at some point as the evening goes on. We'll find out soon enough. Silkeborg lining up Lusty, Larson in goal, Clinton, Felix, Salkvist, Ostrom at the back, 3 midfield, Klinger, Guyani, Tordarson, and Hellenius at the head of the attack, flanked by Jorgensen and Tengstedt. Silkeborg, of course, not been in great form going into this one. Lost on Sunday, 3-2, ended the game with 10 men, and having led that 1-0. And not doing brilliantly domestically at the moment, not having a fantastic season, but they've kind of made up for that a bit, haven't they, with their run in the Conference League. Back-to-back wins against FCSB, who they've smashed 5 past home and away, which is quite extraordinary, really. Has put them in a really strong position in the group. Probably they're not going to decide their fate tonight, whatever happens. But, of course, they're at home to Anderlecht in their final game, which will be pretty much a winner-takes-all fixture. The winner will go into the playoffs, assuming that West Ham are going to be proved group winners tonight with the runners-up going into the pot to face one of the defeated or the teams coming out of the Europa League. And we're going to find out who that's going to be very, very soon. Mark Pearce going for a mad 4-3. We'll take that, Mark. Top G Garadia. Obviously, an FCSB fan predicting an FCSB 4-1 win against West Ham. We're not even playing this game. This will be next week, of course. Hobo going for a 1-1. Yeah. Nick, I did say hello. You were the first name I mentioned, I think. Come on, let's have it right. Silkeborg playing in their brand new kit. Now, they called this Cobalt Blue for the record. And they're playing from right to left. The game just kicked off on BT Sports. Peter Drury and Clive Allen, your commentators on BT. But, of course, you've got me here on KUMB TV if you want some alternative commentary and some incredibly biased West Ham claret and blue flavoured commentary. The pronunciation wasn't that bad, was it, Mark? I thought it was okay. Blag it. It's the best way to do it. Just race through it, and it sounds okay. Darren Rule, hi Darren, good to see you on the stream. Going for a 3-1 West Ham win. Don't forget, Nick's not here to do his job. Hopefully, he's going to be doing it in the live stream on the comments throughout the evening. But down there it is. There's the little thumbs up. Give us a thumbs up if you enjoy the stream. Just do it anyway. If you even if you don't, doesn't really matter. It's not putting you out of your way, is it? Does us a favour, apparently, so I'm told. But anyway, 0-0, minute gone, West Ham, Silkeborg, West Ham kicking from left to right. Let's have a little look at this team just to see how West Ham are lining up and just see what we've got now. It looks like we've got Ogbonna playing left back, actually. Looking at this defensive lineup here, interestingly, you would expect perhaps, given the personnel, that Ben Johnson might be playing on the left, but at the moment, it looks like Johnson's partnering Aguerd in the centre of the defence with Angelo Ogbonna playing out on the left, which is an interesting lineup. Vladimir Soufal, of course, on the right-hand side. Sitting deep, Connor Coventry, taking that Declan Rice role tonight. Michail Antonio, the lone striker, who's just been flagged offside. West Ham playing in blue shorts tonight and white socks, is that? Of course, Michail Antonio standing in for Gianluca Scamacca this evening. Now, let's just have a little look how we're lining up. Yeah, it certainly looks like Connor Coventry's playing that defensive midfield role. Again, getting one of his first touches of the game. Feeds Vladimir Soufal on the right-hand side. West Ham looking to break. Looks like Silkeborg, from very, very early exchanges, that the visitors are going to be sitting back, attempting to soak up the pressure and hit West Ham on the break here. Excuse me. But, yeah, Angelo Ogbonna definitely playing left back. It's a flat four, the way it looks. So it's 4-5-1, something like 4-3-3. But, yeah, I am joined. Here comes my first guest of the night. I say first guest, my co-presenter, as it stands, coming in now. We're going to get him in. Oh, I've fallen down the screen. What's going on there? Bit of a technical hitch. And there he is. We have a head. Oh no, we have a bubble. Now, why have we got a bubble? We have a bubble. I don't know why, but there he is.
Because I'm upstairs, I'm on my bed and I'm on my phone.
Oh, that's interesting. So maybe we can figure out this whole bubble thing. But of course, we can't get Pinky out of the bubble whenever he's on. And maybe it's a mobile phone thing then. Yeah, perhaps that's what it is.
It could be.
Yeah, good to see you, buddy. How are you?
All right. Yeah.
Good stuff.
I might as well, as I'm on my bed and all that, as I've got blanks and stuff. I thought, well, I ain't having this.
That's right. Well, I'm going to put you up there as you're in the bubble. You're kind of up there a little bit, if that. So
I am.
Yeah. Kind of like you're sort of like the my angel, I suppose you could say. I don't know if you're the good or the bad over there. Perhaps we should.
I'm the one that makes you do naughty things. I'm not the good one.
Right. Okay. I'll bear that in mind. Where are we? 4 minutes gone anyway. West Ham versus Silkeborg. What are you thinking tonight, Nick? You fancy this one? Fancy 3 points?
Yeah, I do. I'm watching live on the TV. We're actually 5.5 minutes in.
Okay, well you're considerably ahead of me, so you'll have to bear that in mind. And
yeah, and we are.
Hopefully tapping your celebrations.
Oh, I'll mute them because if I move too fast, I will go out.
Okay.
A bit like when I sneeze. I had pepper on my dinner earlier, which wasn't the best thing to do because it made me sneeze.
Okay. All right. Okay.
And we're attacking. Oh no, we're not. They've got the ball now. Hey, what?
I was just going to say, are you all sneezed out? Or are we going to get a repetition of it on the stream tonight?
I think I'm all sneezed out. I do think I'm sneezed out. Yeah. Now I don't know if I press that button. Am I still there, or have I disappeared?
You've disappeared.
I've disappeared. Oh right. Okay. Well, that's a bit balls, isn't it? Because right. Hang on. Let's see how this works.
Anyway, while Nick's trying to sort out his technical issues, West Ham in possession.
No, I didn't realise that if I go to a different app, that I actually lose my connection, kind of thing.
Okay. Well, we can still hear you anyway. So it just seems to be the video that.
Oh, okay.
Temporary basis, but we can still hear you coming through loud and clear anyway.
See, but I can see me. I can see my little dot.
There you go.
I can see my dot. Oh,
Rob Young says it looks like I'm dreaming about Nick. Well, it won't be the first time. Let's be honest. What do you make of this lineup, Nick?
It's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's an interesting lineup.
It is. Ogbonna at left back.
Yeah. Why is Emerson not at left back then? Why are we playing I ain't got a clue how we're even setting up. Let's have a look. I can't say. I've got to take the glasses off. Johnson.
Yeah, I think it's a flat four. I think it's a flat four, but I'm sure some people will tell me that we're playing 5 and Emerson is playing as a wing back, which is quite feasible. But I've not seen Emerson in our own half so far. So anyway,
yeah, I don't think it's going to be a particularly riveting game. No.
Well, nothing's happened so far. We're 7 minutes in, and my pad is blank. Nothing on there at all yet. So
indeed.
To go by. It's been pretty. You've gone sideways. Looks like you've fallen off the bed.
This is all going a bit doolally. Is that better now? Yeah, am I back? Because I've now it's working. It's working.
Oh yeah, we can see you. Yeah, we're good. West Ham attacking on the left with Said Benrahma. Tries to play a ball into the box. It's a clever ball into Fornals into the box. Fornals has to turn back to Emerson. What can Emerson do? Bit of trickery. Pulls it back to Fornals. Can Fornals deliver? He can. Looking for Michael Antonio. Gets ahead on it. But it loops up and over the bar. First chance falling to West Ham. Nick, you would have seen that about a minute ago.
I did, yes. Yeah, I did.
Hence why I didn't get too excited, because I knew nothing was going to come of it. Else you would have been celebrating wildly or something.
Well, I might have clapped my fingers. That's about as far as it would have got.
Yes.
Oh, look,
anyway, 8 minutes.
You've drawn me in. Do you know what I'm going to do? I don't know why I'm doing this. The things I do for this channel and for this website is I am going to get my... Oh, you've gone. Where you gone? Where's my phone locked? It's a bit silly. Are you still there? Have I lost you?
No, we're here. We're here. We can hear you. We can hear you.
Okay.
Polaroid suggests that Emerson are indeed advanced wing backs. Well, as I say, it's quite possible.
This isn't work.
Are you coming onto your big self? Are we going to see the whole of you?
I'm kind of walking down the stairs to my computer.
Okay.
I've been dragged right in, haven't I? I can't have my buddy have to do it all on his own. It's not fair.
It's very kind, very kind. Well, I'm not doing anything at the moment because I have no stream. It's disappeared.
No, I'm not going. Yeah, I'm not going to do it in my dressing gown though. I need to get something on because it is a family show and
Nobody wants to see that.
no, indeed. So bear with me.
All right, no worries. Nick's
I
getting
will be
dressed,
back.
everyone. There you go. All right, we'll see you in a minute. Silkeborg attacking for the first time, but comes to nothing. Naif again picks up the ball, plays it out on the right-hand side to Emerson, who we're assuming he's playing as a left wing back. Emerson bursting forward, finds Benrahma, surges towards goal, plays it out on the right to Soufal, very advanced on the edge of the box, dinks a cross in. It's a poor cross though, it's not going to reach Mikhail Antonio, and it's only out to Ben Johnson. West Ham able to build again. It's going to be one of those nights. Silkeborg looks like they're going to be happy to take a point from here, or at least defend deep and try and pick off West Ham on the break. Not seen much evidence of that happening yet, but that you would imagine is manager Kent Nielsen's instructions to his team. As I said, playing in their brand new kit of cobalt blue this evening for this tie. Emerson on the ball anyway, plays it short to Fornals. Fornals not really much in front of him, so he's going into the box, goes into the box, but looks for Mikhail Antonio, but it's a poor pass. Him and Antonio not quite on the same wavelength, and Fornals conceding possession inside the opposition box, but he's won it back. Done really, really well to win it back. Now, what can West Ham do from this? Manny Lanzini looks for Benrahma. It's a poor pass from the Argentine, and the visitors able to break. There's some evidence. We just saw that there when Silkeborg won the ball back from that Lanzini pass. Not exactly bursting forward in numbers, but a core of 4 players straight through the centre. So you get some idea of what they're trying to achieve there. Definitely looking to counter and hit West Ham on the break. But to no avail so far. We're 11 minutes in. It's West Ham 0, Silkeborg 0 in this Conference League tie. No, more like the Benny Hill music probably be more apt, actually, Mark. But Antonio, anyway, gets behind the defence, gets into the box. Can he turn? He can. Can he get a shot away? Gets a shot away. Good save by the keeper. Fornals putting Antonio through. It's the first effort on target for West Ham, and it's Antonio once again. Fornals looking lively so far this evening. Sort of been in and out of the team, hasn't he, in recent weeks? Not quite managed to recapture that form of last season yet. The Spanish international. We call him an international. He's played a couple of times for the full side, hasn't he? Yeah, why not? Guess he warrants it. But yeah, the shot saved by the goalkeeper's feet. And Silkeborg breathe again. Soufal allows it short to Benrahma. Benrahma into the box, plays it outside again to Soufal. He's going to get a cross away. He does, but it's put out by the number 4 for a corner. And Pablo Fornals is going to take this one in the absence of Jarrah Bowen, coming out to the right-hand side. He's going to swing a corner in. Let's have a look, see what he does with it. It's all West Ham so far. The opposition not really showed a lot this evening, but it's played short to Soufal, swings one in, back door, where it's Agerd who's actually waiting at the back post and volleys one into the side netting. Different stuff from West Ham. And yeah, bit of a change from the usual there. But good to see our Moroccan superstar making his debut tonight, out there for the first time. And wouldn't it be nice to see him get a goal? Mark his pro debut with a strike for the Hammers. 13 minutes gone. West Ham yet again in possession. And winning a free kick, what's that? About 32, 33 yards from the opposition's goal. Pablo Fornals it was, who was tripped by Klinger, the number 21 for Silkeborg. Just waiting for the free kick to be taken. Looks like it's Lanzini lining up to take it. 1, 2, 3 lines. So about 35, 36 yards from Silkeborg's goal. West Ham players on the edge of the box. Silkeborg holding a high line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players on the edge of their penalty box. It's played short by Lanzini to Emerson. Lofts one into the box. Looks deep. Gets it up to Ogbonna, who heads wide of the target. Let's just have another little look at that. Short corner, obviously one off the training ground, deep into Ogbonna. He does actually get there above Felix, but Felix doing enough to put him off. So West Ham beginning to put some pressure on now. It's 4 efforts on goal for the Hammers so far. Nothing yet from the visitors. Just hearing there on the commentary that West Ham are the only team in the competition still with a 100% record, which is good stuff. Obviously hoping to make it 5 out of 5 tonight. And as we know, the Hammers only needing a point to secure their place at the top of the table. A draw here would be enough to make sure to ensure West Ham win the group. Silkeborg, of course, currently in a really strong position to finish runners-up in this group. They faced Anderlecht in their final game last week. Of course, as I said at the top of the show, their big game isn't tonight. It's going to be next week when they face the Belgians in Denmark, which will be a winner-takes-all tie. Here he is, Nick's on the stream. Good to see you, buddy.
Hello. Yeah, I'll see how I go. I won't come for you upstairs.
Good stuff. Well, it's good to have you. Good.
I will not be standing up during this broadcast.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Do you have to think what you've got on? Maybe that's the point. Maybe you haven't got anything at all.
It's literally just a pair of pants.
Oh well, that's better than
boxers. I don't know pants. Oh, and I've also got a bit of cheesecake in front of me and all.
Nice. Okay.
It is.
Hopefully not in your boxers.
No.
Do you know what? I think we're going to have to make this a regular segment. What's on your plate tonight, Nick?
Yes.
Because it does seem to be a bit of a recurring theme that you're eating your dinner or the remnants of it whenever we stream.
Well, I've not had a cold no online on stream for quite a while. Actually, it's been a while. So yeah, I'm not really with it. I've not even got the game up yet.
Okay, no worries. Well, I can tell you it's still 0-0, 7.5 minutes gone, just over 17 on your stream. We need a theme tune for the segment. What's in your plate tonight, Nicky boy? What's on your plate? That's terrible. Something better.
No, it's not terrible. It's just the normal standard of Eyes Up Mother Brown.
It is indeed. It is indeed. If you've got a jingle that's appropriate for that segment of the show, what's Nick eating tonight? Let us know. Ben Rama crosses from the left. Great cross. Dangerous. Michael Antonio was going to get on the end of that, but it was some really good work by Felix, the centre half. Just managed to intervene before the cross reached Antonio. But good work from Ben Rama. He's been on form, Nick, hasn't he, in recent weeks, Benny? One of our better players of late.
He has indeed. He has. I'm not going to take everything back yet because one summer doesn't make the swallow or whatever.
Yeah.
It is. But no, he's done all right this season.
He has.
No.
Yeah, he has indeed. Doing all right. Playing some good football.
I'm debating. Do I need a spoon? There we go. This is what people can ask on the chat. When you're eating cheesecake, spoon or a fork?
What utensil should you use tonight? A spoon, a fork, or a knife tonight, Nicky boy.
I'm not going to try a knife because I'll get covered in cheesecake crumbs. Listen, do you know what? I'm actually going to give a plug if anyone is actually in the Rochester, Dillywood kind of, where else is she? Lower Stoke. My friend Kathy, She has 2 tea rooms. She's a former bus driver, right? And she has 2 tea rooms called Rose's Tea Room. And she's a little local business. So if ever you're on the Hoo Peninsula and you're feeling a bit peckish, support Kathy. She's very good.
There you go. And do we know when she's open?
She's open Monday to Friday. No, 7 days a week.
Okay. Good.
I think she's 10 till 3, 10 till 4. And she also runs things like in an evening for kids and stuff, like Halloween cake decorating and whatnot else. She's struggling at the moment, what with energy bills going through the roof, because she hasn't got a lot of covers in each of her things. And there was one point which thought she was actually going to have to knock it on the head, but she's bumbling along. And she makes birthday as well.
Oh, there you go. Excellent, excellent. So if you need a birthday cake or you want to take the kids somewhere down to the Roses tea room,
Rose's Tea Room in Lower Stoke or Cliff.
there you go.
Which is very good. He's not into football, so it don't matter. Oh, that's close.
Get involved. Get yourself down there. Nick, we've had a chance.
We had indeed. Who was it? I can't see who it is. Yeah. Could have scored, whoever it was. Oh, Connor Coventry. Connor Coventry.
Connor Coventry.
Yeah. I'm veering towards Spoon because of the amount of broken digestive.
A spoon. Oh, there you go. It's a bit like, well, what was that play school, wasn't it? Where it was like, what window? The round window, the square window, or the whatever the other one was, rectangular. I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
There you go. Play school for the over 50s. Great stuff. Connor Coventry's close there. Should have scored, maybe.
He should have scored, but he don't get much game time, does he? So we'll forgive him.
Yeah, got in a good position there.
He did.
But really should have hit the target. But anyway, good stuff. West Ham beginning to pile up the chances. Antonio header over the bar, 8th minute. Antonio save from the Fornals cross, 12 minutes, 30 minutes, and a Gerd shot into the side post of Bonner's header in the 40th minute. And the 20th minute, Connor Coventry firing.
Being very careful and sliding this way.
Where's he gone? Where have you gone? I looked down to make some notes and he's disappeared. Mikhail Antonio trying to get the ball on the left-hand side, but he's not going to reach that one. It's going to roll out for a Silkeborg goal kick. 21 minutes gone. West Ham United 0, Silkeborg 0. West Ham beginning to rack up the chances, but once again, not an awful lot on target so far. I think just the one on target, the Antonio shot after 12 minutes. The spoon window, says Mark Pierce. Yeah, that sounds like a pub, doesn't it? Where did you?
The toilets are on the 19th floor.
Yes. West Ham still trying to make inroads, but it's just not happening at the moment. And Silkeborg is sitting deeper and deeper here, but they're really not threatening at all. And it really, at the moment, just looks like a question of when for West Ham, not how. But AGXM saying that our backline seems much higher with Agerd, which is good. Yeah, definitely playing a little bit more up the pitch tonight than we would perhaps in the Premier League. I guess maybe you have to take the opposition into account as well there. Penalty, says Craven Moorhead.
Looks like it.
Okay.
Looks like it. Antonio won it. And the cheesecake is lemon.
There you go. Lemon cheesecake for a penalty. I'm still waiting to see it, but Craven disputing the fact that it was a penalty. Doesn't think it was. I'll let you know.
Okay. Or did you mean a penalty?
There it is. That's a big cheesecake.
Ow. I'm a grown lad.
So let's have a look. I'm just seeing it now. Antonio's got the ball on the left side.
That's a bit. Nah.
Bemrano, who's laid it back. Antonio's gone up with the goalkeeper, and that I think that's a. I mean,
that's
I'm just seeing that in live time, and I'm thinking that's a dive. The goalkeeper sat to Antonio, no way. Antonio doesn't look as if he's putting up much of a defence. You've got to say, Nick, it looks like that's we've got away with one there.
No, that was awful. That was awful. I'm not even celebrating the goal because it was awful.
Let's have another look close up. No, that's appalling. That's poor from Antonio. I've got to agree with you. I mean,
so it's 0-0.
Are we not going to count this goal? I'm not going to count it. Don't want it. Came about by unfair means. It's Lanzini anyway who steps up to take the spot kick
and he does
on his right foot.
Really.
Puts it low into the right-hand corner, and it's 1-0 to West Ham. But he's done that quite. We saw that, didn't we, Nick, in the last couple of games? We've made that point a few times that Mikhail Antonio has got a bit of a thing about throwing himself on the deck lately.
He has. It's a bit naughty. It's very naughty. Not impressed by Mr. Mikhail. No, I don't like to see that. I don't like it. I don't like seeing it in opposition players do it because we get mugged off. And do you know what? I'd actually rather get mugged off by an opposition player doing it than one of our own.
Well, Larson, the goalkeeper, is furious about them. You can see he's still shaking his head. He's really unhappy about the penalty. And, you know, as Nick and I would tend to have some sympathy with him, I think, for that one. I'm sure you would too. But Larson's guessed the right way. He's dived to his left. But it's a strong penalty from Lanzini, and it's just out of the goalkeeper's reach. He's still shaking his head, Larson. Still really, really unhappy about that penalty. And, yeah, quite frankly, I think he's got every right to be. It looked like Antonio hit the deck rather too easily there. What do you think, team? Are you happy that we scored the goal? You know, you don't want to be party poopers, but you know it's West Ham. We don't like to see that sort of thing here, do we? Or do we? Are things changing? Is it, you know, by all means necessary these days? Let us know what you think in the comments below. Anyway, West Ham looking for a second. Ben Rama looking for 4 nails in the box, but it's a poor pass. Yeah, good penalty. Polo definitely took it really, really well. 2 really good penalties in a week for West Ham, of course. Ben Rama scoring that cracking penalty against Bournemouth in our last outing here. But yeah. Now, I think Silkeborg have got away with one there. Although it looks like it was, you know, I was going to say the ball was played into the box. It looked like the goalkeeper was given a free kick for a supposed challenge by Lanzini. It wasn't actually. Lanzini was offside. I was just about to say that was a bit harsh too. But yeah, not covering ourselves in any glory there. Hobo, stream down, not seen it yet. And let us know what you think, Hobo, when you get it. Bob Claret saying it's part of the game today, sadly. And Mark Pierce adding that I didn't think it was a penalty until I saw the angle that showed the keeper's knee caught him. There you go. Silkeborg, anyway, breaking on the left-hand side. Their first foray really into the penalty box. Shot comes in from the number 27, Jorgensen, but it's straight at Alphonse Areola, who gets to warm his palms for the first time this evening. And Silkeborg finally have a shot at goal, and first shot on target after 27 minutes.
It was a bit naughty though. Still not happy with that. It's 0-0.
No, I you know, yeah, I mean, Bob's right. It is part of the game, but you know, I still don't really like to see West Ham players do that. But there you go. It's football. Football these days.
Can we wish they get an equaliser now, or is that just not? Is that even more naughty?
I think that might be going a little bit too far, but I don't know. Maybe.
Even it out a bit. We've got a Bonner as left back. It's bound to go wrong anyway.
Yeah, or left centre back. If we are playing that 5 at the back, which to be fair, it does look like it's a 5. But saying that, we've not seen Emerson. Not needed to.
Cheesecake, I can't manage it all.
It was a big lump of cheesecake, mate. It's got to be
a massive lump of cheesecake. But I'm going to have another bit, just, you know, for luck.
Let me tell you a story about cheesecake. Some years ago, I was in the States on a business trip in Pittsburgh, actually. And the guys that we were working with took us to out for dinner. And it was to a place called the Cheesecake Factory.
Ooh.
And I think we had... I think spaghetti bolognese, something like that. It was quite a small menu for the mains. But when
spaghetti bolognese cheesecake, interesting.
Well, it was bolognese. No, they might have done that. I don't know. But it was a very select menu for your mains, and then you got to the desserts, and then this place really sort of came into its own. And there must have been 100 different kinds of cheesecake you could order. And I had one of the smallest portions. Bear in mind, this is America, right, where portions are generally bigger. I had one of the smaller portions on the menu. I can't remember what it was. It was absolutely delicious. But I do remember it was just under 3,000 calories for this slice of cheesecake. And I sort of understood at that point just why there's an issue with obesity in the States. But Cheesecake Factory, wonderful place. Let us know if you've been. What's your favourite? What's your favourite cheesecake?
Calories in a slice of cheesecake.
In a slice of cheesecake, it was a standard triangle of cheesecake.
I'm salivating.
Nearly 3,000 calories. It was absolutely stunning.
Kill me.
Yeah. I dare say it would do if you was there every night.
But nonetheless, though, it tastes nice.
It was absolutely stunning. We just had a shot, Nick.
Just had a shot, just as fizzed over the bar. Should have scored. Should have scored, or at least got to keep it and save it.
Yeah, it's come just on the half-hour mark. I'm just waiting to see the chance myself. Silkeborg got the ball. They're going to lose possession. I can pretty sure of that from what's going to come. Yeah, it's Emerson's won the ball. It's played out to Ben Rama. Ben Rama's it's just over the bar. Yeah, it's but again, most of our chances seem to be coming from Silkeborg's errors, Nick. We don't seem to create an awful lot. It's we're just making the most of their errors.
Yeah, we are. But no, we're not really making the most of them, are we? Because the only goal we've got is penalty. Look, should have had. And that's a worrying thing I've found right this season. So, right, we've scored a few goals now, but look through them about the amount of contentious ones where you're like, if that was given against us, we'd be spitting feathers. Fulham,
yeah.
Bournemouth last week. This dive from Antonio this week. It's from genuine. Have that absolutely no doubt about it goals. We haven't scored many, have we?
Are there any these days in the Premier League? I'm not sure. It seems to be every goal.
I'm just saying that it was Skamaka's lovely goal against whoever it was a few weeks ago.
Fulham.
Lovely little chip. You could argue maybe that shouldn't have even stood because it hit his hand, but no, by the laws of the game. We've not had any. Alan Partridge says thunder bastards.
Well, saying that, I mean, by the laws of the game, none of those goals against Fulham or Bournemouth were falsely credited to us. If you look at,
okay, no, you've got a fair point. Right, is Antonio running through the middle? He's going to get it wrong. No, he hasn't. He's got it out to number 5, good foul, and it's into the box and a header that straight into the arm of their keeper from 4 nails.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Another chance for West Ham. Yeah, I mean, if you look at Dermot Gallagher on Sky, I was watching him intently when he was explaining both of those, and you and I and probably everybody else who watches football would have seen that incident with Tilo Kehrer against Bournemouth and said, "That's we did, didn't we?" We said it's clear handball. Couldn't believe it was given, but according to the current laws of the game, it's a legitimate goal. It's a stupid rule. I think we can certainly all agree on that. But yeah, it was right to have stood. I mean, you got definitely feel sympathy for the Bournemouth fans. Don't really feel any for the Fulham fans. But yeah, good goals apparently. But yeah, you're right. You don't seem to get many that are clear cut and not contentious at all.
I think Mark Pierce is spot on when it says the new slim look DL won't last long. Well, no, not if I'm eating cheesecake. I don't often eat cheesecake, to be fair. I don't often eat cake, period. Because it makes me fat.
There you go. Oh, we've got to ban someone from the chat. Hang on a second.
Oh, we?
Yes, we've got someone trying to post naughty messages. Now,
well.
Anyway, enough of this. I want to know what cheesecake people are recommending. Rob Young, key lime pie. Sounds delicious, Rob. Anyone else? Is that
I've never had key lime pie. What is it? I've heard of it.
That sounds lovely. Hobo Changba going for cherry cheesecake. My old mum used to make them in the 70s. Addictive stuff. Did we have cheesecakes in the 70s? I thought gâteau.
We don't cook in at school, and this must have been the 70s because I was in infants, and we were making cheesecake. And the thing that I will always remember is that the thing they were crushing up the digestive biscuits in was the bowl that the school nurse used to give you when you were sick. And it was the same bowl, and I will never ever forget that. For those that are wondering, Monagate County Primary School in South Ockenden, they probably still have that bowl, and they probably still make a cheesecake in it.
Don't send your kids there.
No.
Times were hard. One bowl for the whole school for everything. I don't remember having cheesecake until a bit later than that. Maybe we were just, I was born on the wrong side of the tracks and missed all the good stuff. Or I remember being excited about Neapolitan ice cream as a kid. That was about as European.
Neapolitan's good though. It is, especially the way I've seen it. This is again going back to the what Nick eats on the street. My Neapolitan ice creams from Aldi's, you know, the ones with the wafers with the chocolate around it.
Right, yeah.
They are just lush. And I think they're only like £1 for 8. Who says there's a cost of living crisis when you can get 8 Neapolitan ice cream from Aldi's for £1? Oh, Ben Rama's missed again. Lovely little bit of build-up play. And he missed.
West Ham really racking the chances out. I'll have to have a look in a minute and see what stats are. So let's have a look now. West Ham 51% possession to Silkeborg's 49. West Ham 9 shots, 3 on target. Silkeborg just that one shot coming in from Jorgensen on the 27th minute. West Ham very, very much on top so far. But more importantly, Alf Garnett's ex-missus says Mandarin frozen cheesecake for Sunday tea after your cockles and roll mops.
Yeah. Good taste. Good taste. And the jellied eels. Have you ever had jellied eels?
Not as far as I can remember. I vividly recall as a kid, my dad had a business that operated out of Billingsgate Market, so quite frequently I'd go down there on a Saturday morning and watch them take them out of the trays and chop them up live, which kind of put me off a little bit. I didn't even get to the point where I the vile taste of the jelly, but no, I don't remember ever having to. Have you?
No, God no. Just the thought of them made me want to pee.
Some quick Paris matches since for you before we get.
And going back to the game, Coventry has been booked.
European games on Vicky Sport 2.
We're feeding back quite a bit of commentary, Nick. I don't know if you can turn it down a tad.
I don't actually think I've got any more numbers. I can turn it down.
Okay.
Hang on, let's have a look.
I can hear Peter Drury coming through. There's a booking here. Who's been booked?
Coventry got booked. Sent to Coventry.
Yeah.
Oh.
First yellow card of the evening. Connor Coventry standing in for Declan Rice, having his name taken by tonight's official. Who is? Don't know. Who is tonight's official? It is I'm guessing he's Finnish or Icelandic. It's Uni Hitia. I would say that is Mr. Hitia. But anyway, 37.5 minutes gone. West Ham leading by a very, very controversial penalty. Won by Michail Antonio, dispatched by Manuel Lanzini. And that's the difference between the two teams so far. Eton Mess, says AGXM, for you then in the posh West End.
Eton Mess is absolutely sickly, foul, and gorgeous.
I'm just trying to make sure I've not missed anybody. Oh, hang on. Hobo says, bash a packet of digestives into a Pyrex bowl, presumably not the one that Nick's old school used to use. Philadelphia cheese and cream, tin of black cherries on top. Burp.
8 for £1.
There you go.
Absolute superb. I'm going to live off these.
We might have to, the way things are going, mate.
Oh, that is true.
Might be a staple diet.
Grow yours. Not choc ices. If you could grow choc ices, I'd come and live with you. But
well, yeah, we've got the eggs. I suppose that's a start, but yeah, not the rest. Blazes says, what about Viennetta? Blazes, this is not a Viennetta discussion. This is not.
It has Viennetta does have its place though.
Does it?
Yeah, especially the mint one.
The what one?
The mint Viennetta.
Oh, mint. I thought you said meat for a second.
No, well, that might not be so bad. Viennetta mixed in with steak.
That's an interesting concept. Yeah. Well, I suppose you have mint sauce on lamb. You could have mint ice cream on steak. I guess that would be different.
Or mint ice cream on lamb chops. Now there's a thing. It's something that Hester Blumenthal do.
Yes.
Did you ever get that entire sheet?
Did I ever get what? Sorry.
Weren't you once meant to be buying a sheep?
A sheep.
Yeah.
We've got a neighbour's got pigs, and they slaughtered them last week, or half of them anyway. They're keeping half for next year's stock, and we had the first lump of pork and the other day, and I've got to be honest, I've never had a pork chop as tasty as this pork chop was, which I kind of felt a bit guilty because a few days earlier I was running around the pen with the pig, but that's country life for you, sir. That's what it's like out here in the country, you know. So no, we didn't get a sheep. Chickens.
The nicest pork. No, was it? No, it was a burger. It was down in Gloucestershire from a burger van, and it was like proper nice because it was a local dead cow thing, minced.
Yeah.
Fresh, gorgeous. You can't beat you couldn't beat a bender in a bun at Wimpy. A bender in a bun is good.
A bender. Now that was the hot dog, wasn't it? The really long hot dog.
I love Wimpy's. I do like a Wimpy. We got a Wimpy here in Strood, and they're on Just Eat and Uber Eats, but they don't do their grills. It's just the burgers and stuff, and they're horrendously expensive.
The orange sauce in funny enough, down the road from us where we used to live, we had what was apparently Wimpy's flagship UK store, which I presume is their flagship store full stop.
Yeah,
because they're only in the UK, aren't they? And they used to sell us the bottle of special sauce with that orange sauce, which was just amazing. That and chips was top banana, unbelievable. AGXM studios are okay. Not a fan of the jelly. Have we got any studio fans with jelly? Studio and jelly fans, should I say? Let us know if that's your tipple and explain why. I mean, it's, you know.
Boo, who's boo?
Tubby Isaacs, they used to sell them, didn't they? They were when I used to work at Aldgate. We our office used to overlook Tubby Isaacs just outside the pub there. I can't remember the name of the pub on the corner there on Whitechapel, but yeah, jelly deals are plenty. Don't see many Wimpys anymore, says Mark. Last one I saw was in Twickenham and Littlehampton.
Strood, mate. Come to Strood. It's a Wimpy, literally 5-minute drive from here. Still there. One of my friends at school used to own a Wimpy in Grays as well. One in the shop.
But they were like franchises, weren't they? A bit like the McDonald's are now. Yeah. Anyway, back to my stream's packed up, which is why I'm talking about jelly deals and other non-football related things. But I can tell you it's still West Ham United 1, Silkeborg 0.
It is
very, very dodgy penalty from West Ham. We're 43, 44 minutes gone. Rob Young says in China you can get fried chick on a stick, head and all. The beak must stick in the throat, surely, Rob. That sounds disgraceful. It kind of always makes me laugh with Chinese. The Chinese menu you get here, when you compare that to what you'd get in a market in, you know.
When he said you get a fried chicken on a stick, he doesn't mean the bird. He literally means like a young lady.
Well, that's Bangkok, isn't it? I don't know, but yeah, there's some of the foods. I don't know, locusts and things, and yeah,
locusts good. I've had locusts; they're really quite nice.
No, sorry, I'm not having that. How can an insect be? Is it an insect, a locust? I suppose it would be.
No, they're good.
You're going to be telling me it's full of protein next.
Oh yeah, they are. They are full of protein. I was there to try some dodgy old
that old chestnut.
And I had it, and I went back
Yeah.
for more. Come on, I've had worse things in my mouth.
Had they run out of Neapolitan wafers by that point? Then you can only assume.
Oh, look,
Um,
Mark Pierce, local cheesecake. Have some of that.
There you go. Combination of the entire first half's discussion.
I am going to Google that because I bet you it exists.
While Nick's Googling that, I can tell you there's been a couple of West Ham shots within the space of a minute. Antonio attempted overhead kick, which kind of just looped up straight into the goalkeeper's hands. Then Ben Rama had an effort.
Did you mean Lotus Biscoff cheesecake?
No. This is where's that? Lidl by perchance?
No, everywhere sells bloody Lotus Biscoff cheesecakes now. It's the new thing. Because you also get the ones where people like empty a bag of Haribos over the top of it and stuff like that, and they're 10,000 calories. But no, there doesn't actually seem to be a locust cheesecake, and I find myself quite disappointed by that fact.
There you go. If you've been looking for an opening in the market, thinking where the next hit food is going to be, trendy food, there it is, locust cheesecake.
Half time, by the way.
It is half time, yeah. Played a minute of added on time at the end of the half. As you can probably tell by the nature of our conversation, there were no further goals. The only goal of the game so far coming in at the 24th minute, Manuel Lanzini, not Mikhail Lanzini, Manuel Lanzini, scoring from the penalty spot after Mikhail Antonio, well, went down in the box, shall we say, under pressure from Silkeborg's goalkeeper, Larson. Definite die for you, Nick, that one?
Yep. It was indeed.
No question.
0-0.
Did anyone else think it was a legitimate penalty that Antonio was actually tripped? Or are we all kind of looking at that one thinking, not sure. Let us know in the comments.
Well, Mark did say he thought the keeper's kneeing him.
He did. Yeah, he did. Yeah, we did have Mark's comment to that effect. But anyone else? What did you think? Or do you think we've sort of bought one there? Nick, you haven't done your likes thing yet, mate. Disappointed. It's half time. I have no idea what you just said there.
Kids bring out the mischievous side. Like that.
Keep it in.
Thank you.
Keep it in. Anyway, Hobo says, my mate spends the winter in Thailand. Enough said about that, Hobo. And he eats all kinds of stuff. Make your own jokes. There you go. Rob Young, my effing smartphone keeps going landscape.
Right, down there somewhere is a button that's got one of those. So if you hit it, and it helps out algorithm London, and YouTube are nice to us, kind of. And with 50 people watching now with only 18 likes, 51 people watching now with only 18 likes, I think that is actually quite insulting. Now 52. But we have 19 and 20 likes now, but it's still quite insulting that all this rubbish that we're talking, and I think it might be trying to tell us something, dude.
Well, anyway, while everyone's reaching for the like button, I'll go through the highlights of the first half. The match stats at the end of the opening 45 minutes are as follows: West Ham 53% possession to Silkeborg's 47%. West Ham 12 shots at goal, only 4 on target. Silkeborg only 1 shot, that being on target. West Ham 2 corners, none for Silkeborg. West Ham committed 2 fouls and Silkeborg 5. The first chance falling for Mikhail Antonio, a header over the bar as early as the 8th minute. He was on in front of goal again 4 minutes later when fed by Fornals, but forced a good save from the goalkeeper with his feet. It was on target, but Larson was up to it. Gerd back in the team, playing at centre half. Had a shot into the side netting from a corner a minute later, and then a minute after that, it was his central defensive partner, Angelo Ogbonna, on the other side, the right-hand side of the goal, sending a header from an Emerson cross wide of the target under pressure from defender Felix. Connor Coventry had a good chance on 20 minutes, found his way into the edge of the box, pretty much had his pick of the whole goal and managed to put it just wide. And then Silkeborg had their first and only chance of the half. Jorgensen's shot from about 20 yards straight at Alphonse Areola, who has barely been involved in the game so far, really. Ben Rama shot over the bar from 20 yards on 31 minutes, and 2 minutes later, Michael Antonio again had another chance at a header. Easy this time for the goalkeeper, Ben Rama, putting a header wide from 8 yards after 36 minutes, and then Michael Antonio and Ben Rama both having a shot in the final minute of the first half. Of course, in the middle of all that was a goal. 23rd minute, Michael Antonio surging into the penalty area, a little 1-2 with, was it 4-0? I think it might have been, correct me if I'm wrong, please. And the referee adjudged him to be tripped by goalkeeper Larson, and Lanzini dispatching the penalty to separate the sides at the break. And that's where we are after 45 minutes. Let us know what you've made of the game so far in the comments below. Have you changed your prediction from the start? Also, let us know. Nick, what did you make of that opening half?
Crap. Boring.
Stuff. Yeah, it was a bit. I mean, even though we've had 12 shots, it's I don't know. Is it? Are we getting bored of European football?
No, I'm just getting bored with our play. Really.
But, so hang on. So
It's
in
not
Europe, or just
seeing
in
the
general?
stuff, is it? Don't get me wrong, right? In the cold light of day, we're going to qualify. Well, we're not, because we're going to lose next week because he's going to put the kids out again, like he did last time. So it's dead rubber, but. In effect, we you know, you can't grumble. It looks like we're going to qualify top of the group with 100% record, minus next week. But yeah, it's I don't know. Maybe it's just me at my old age and getting cynical. But when we do play really well, I do generally say, but it just seems to have been Lyon was the last time we really played properly well in a game of football.
Yes, and of course this has been the centre of debate, has it not, on the KUMB general discussion forum this week, in the match threads, in the David Moyes thread, and one or two others. A lot of people kind of expressing a little bit of dissatisfaction with the way West Ham are playing. What do you think about this? If you're on the live chat, are you happy with the fact that West Ham are winning games? Is that the be all and end all for you, or does it have to come with a little bit of panache and entertainment value? Let us know what you think. Of course, we know what the owners of the club think, that it is obviously all about results. It's the case for any manager. But supporters are a different breed, and West Ham fans are a different breed amongst football supporters. But anyway, let us know what you think on that, and maybe that'll give us something to chew over in the second half. I should say hello, Nick, to Hammer Ted, who's joining us on the stream. He says, again, we might have something special in him. Any thoughts on Agard from what you've seen in that opening half? We haven't really seen an awful lot of him, have we?
No. I've just seen the replay of Antonio's penalty again.
Yeah.
The more I see it, the more it annoys me. I don't think, oh, actually, yeah, maybe. No, it was just a blatant cheating dive, and I hate it. But
yeah,
we should have had a hatful, let's be honest. They're showing the highlights again on BT Sport of all the Ben Rama's shots. And he should have at least had a couple there. That one that went over the bar was probably his worst miss of the lot, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, he's had a few chances, hasn't he, in the first half, as was the case against Bournemouth the other day. Had to wait till injury time, of course, to get on the score sheet from the penalty spot on that occasion. But you're disappointed with Silkeborg. I mean, they came into this game, of course, on the back of 2 5-goal maulings of FCSB, and we kind of thought, and they took us to a very close result over there in Denmark, finished 3-2. Not really seen anything from them, have we? They've looked really insipid and almost content to, lose tonight and worry about next week when they play Anderlecht.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, no, they haven't been great shapes, but as you pointed out previously on the forum to people about the opposition we've been playing haven't been very good. It's because we've we've not let them be good.
Yeah.
You know, that's
Yes.
our faults. They probably
Yes.
are better than we're making them look good. But the golfing class is just there to see. You know, it's so they're not going to come at us in the way that they would go against FCSB, are they? It's simple as that. Just like, you know, we wouldn't set out and play like this against Man United next week. You know, so no, I'm not going to give them a mauling. At the end of the day, they've come to London. It's half time, and they're only a goal down from a contentious penalty. So they ain't doing too bad.
No, that's true. That's true. Could be worse. But they are, of course, backed by a record, as we understand it, following of 1,200 fans, which is something that Silkeborg have never done before in terms of taking a contingent to an away ground. So
they're only here for the West Ham.
They are indeed. I haven't heard a lot of them on the TV, obviously, because we've got our streams largely turned down. But good club. It'd be nice. Well, of the other three clubs, Nick, who would you like to see qualify along with West Ham, or at least get into the playoffs?
I just because of the history of Anderlecht, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know
no other reason apart from they're a big European club.
Yeah. Okay. Who would you like to see? Let us know in the comments below. Would you like to see Anderlecht join West Ham in the next stage of the competition, or at least get to the playoffs, or maybe you're an FCSB or Silkeborg supporter in terms of the other club joining West Ham. Now let's have a quick look at results elsewhere. Let's see what's happening elsewhere in Europe tonight. Bear with me for just a second. There is, of course, another game going on in this group, and I'm desperately trying to find it. There it is. It's actually finished. It was played earlier. Anderlecht held to a 2-2 draw by FCSB, which is pretty surprising, but it's incredibly good news for Silkeborg, because it means regardless of what happens at the London Olympic Stadium tonight, they will go into that winner-takes-all decider against the Belgian side in their final game of the Conference League Group B matches, knowing that a draw will be enough for them to go through to the playoff zone with Anderlecht. Are you surprised at that? Anderlecht FCSB smashed 5-0 at home and away by Silkeborg, but going to Belgium and getting the results. Not bearing in mind, we only won 2-1 over there.
It's a funny old game. I just sneezed, which is why I managed to mute and stop the video just in time, because it weren't pretty.
You did well. You did well. I had no idea. that's what you were doing. Now, results elsewhere. Let's have a quick look through what's going on in the Conference League this evening. Well, there were some matches played earlier. Let's take you through those first of all. FC Vaduz beaten 2-1 at home by AZ Alkmaar. Fiorentina 2, Istanbul Basaksehir 1. The Anderlecht and FCSB result, we know it's 2-2. Nice beaten Partizan 2-1. Villarreal held to a 2-2 draw by Beersheva, the Israeli side. Shouldn't affect their run to the next stage of the round. They were, I think, 4 out of 4 before tonight. Austria Vienna and Lech Poznan playing out a 1-1 draw in Vienna, and Slovako and Köln. Now, this is interesting. I'm not quite sure what's happened here, but it says the game has been suspended. So I don't know if anyone can find out what's happening there between Slovako and Köln, but I'm reading that game has been suspended. Not quite sure what's going on there. Elsewhere in the Conference League tonight, these are all live games. It's half-time in all of these. Dnipro 1, Apollon 0. Sivasspor beating Cluj 1-0. Slovan Bratislava and Pionik goalless. Basel 2-1 up against Zalgiris at half-time. Hearts, we've not had a very good competition so far. 2-1 up against RFS at half-time. West Ham 1, Silkeborg 0. Balkani and Slavia Prague 0-0. Shamrock Rovers are 1 up against Genk, the Irish side. I think they've lost every game so far, if I'm not mistaken, but heading for a first victory tonight against the Belgians there. And finally, Molde are beating Djurgårdens 2-1, and that's all Scandinavia today. I think it's Norway against Sweden, that one. So that will no doubt.
The Slovakia go versus Cologne.
Yes.
Abandoned because of the weather.
Oh, okay. There you go. Thank you very much. So presumably the game started, and I wonder what that is. Rain or snow? I wonder what.
I'm not sure. See, it's weird because on the BBC it's still saying it's a 7 o'clock kickoff and then match abandoned weather rather than
Yeah.
postponed. So I don't know whether it's kicked off or not. Let me see what I can track down with my super sleuthing.
Okay, good stuff. I'm also, while Nick's doing that, I'm going to bring you some halftime results from the Europa League. Now, we wouldn't normally do this, but of course, this is kind of relevant to us now because the 8 teams that finished third in the Europa League groups will be playing in the Conference League. They'll be coming down from the Europa League into the Conference League. And those 8 teams will be playing the 8 teams that finish runner-up in the current Conference League group. So presuming Silkeborg were to finish runners-up, they would be facing one of the 8 Europa League sides in the playoff phase next. I think is it February? It begins, might be March. But anyway, Lazio have beaten Midtjylland 2-1. Zurich beat Bodo 2-1. Ludogorets beaten at home by Manuel Pellegrini's Real Betis 1-0. Fenerbahce and Rennes playing probably the game of the evening so far. 3-3 that one ended, but so did Larnaca versus Dinamo Kiev, another 3-3. Malmo beaten 2-0 at home by Union Saint-Gilloise. PSV beating Arsenal 2-0.
Oh, no.
I caught a little bit of that game as I was waiting for the West Ham game to come on, and the Arsenal players were all slipping all over the floor. I don't quite know what footwear they had on, but anyway. Union Berlin beating Braga 1-0. Live results or live halftime scores in the Europa League. Roma won up at HJK. Ferencváros being beaten at home by Monaco 1-0. Sturm Graz and Feyenoord goalless. Manchester United won up against Sheriff. Freiburg 1-0 down at home to Olympiacos of Greece. Slovenia Zvezda won Trabzonspor. One, too many odd characters and consonants in that for sure. Nantes 1, Karabag 0, and Omonia 0. Real Sociedad 1 at half time. Now, we can have a quick look just to see. So the 8 teams, like well, we've just kicked off. There has been a substitution. I can tell you that Kusk is on for Jorgensen at half time for Silkeborg. Jorgensen, of course, had the shot, their only shot in the second half. But the 8 teams currently looking likely to feature in the Conference League coming down from the Europa League. You've got Bodo, Glint, Larnaca, Cypriot, aren't they, I think? Roma or Ludogorets could be either one of those. Union Berlin or Braga. Sheriff, almost certainly coming down. Sheriff, of course, decent Champions League pedigree, didn't they? I think they beat Real Madrid, didn't they, last year? Feyenoord, Sturm Graz, and Midtjylland. It could be any of those in Group F, and then finally in Group or Group G, you've got Karabag and Nantes. Looks like it'll be one of those, and then Group H. It's not so not really, Nick. You got to say out of those teams coming down, isn't what you'd say there's anything to be really worried about out of those teams? Maybe Sheriff, perhaps.
No, I don't think there's really any. I've just been looking through on the BBC at the games as well. This is open, isn't it? Who's we got to worry about? Fiorentina, I think, and that's kind of really about it, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I mean, Villarreal are, of course, the favourites, I think, to win the competition. West Ham second favourites or joint favourites. Villarreal,
Of course.
1-4. But yeah, I mean, you look at the other teams that look like they're going to be going through. Fiorentina. I mean, Fiorentina aren't guaranteed to go through because they're, on 10 points with Istanbul, both on 10 points going into the final game. Villarreal look like they're there. Nice or Partizan, one of those two. Alkmaar could be Dnipro from Group E. Group F looks like it's either Molde or Djurgården. And then you've got Sivasspor in Group G, and Group H looks like it's Basel. So, of course, Basel have got some Champions League experience, but you've got to say, looking at those, you've got to fancy us. It doesn't look to me to be as difficult as last year's Conference League competition.
No, Fornells has just missed a sitter as well. Going back to the game.
Yeah.
No, it don't look anywhere near as strong. Anywhere near as strong at all.
Yeah.
Pablo, really? Come on. How? Would have been easier to score, mate. Goodness me.
Yeah. Fornells really should have found the back of the net. And again, it's come from a dreadful pass by the Silkeborg defenders just gave it straight to the Spaniards on the edge of the box, and he turned and fired wide when he had the entire goal to shoot at. Got to do better there, Fornell's got to do better.
He has. It was shocking. It was a bit naughty.
But yeah, he's no more than 14 or 15 yards out, banging the centre of the goal in front of the penalty spot and puts it wide. Got to do better.
Much.
West Ham still lead 1-0.
We do. We do indeed. He should have picked his spot, says Mark. Oh dear, says Danby. I won't say what AG. FFS from Mark again and AGXM.
Yeah, it was definitely one of those. It was definitely an FFS moment. Really got a score from there. I mean, we are only, of course, we're sitting here thinking this is all a bit of a cakewalk and really comfortable, but we are only 1-0 up. We saw against Bournemouth, didn't we, on Sunday what happens. I mean, we had a couple of half chances, could have got back into the game. If we were to concede a goal here and not win, it would, you've got to look back at that plethora of chances we've had and ask a lot of questions, I think. But anyway, we're ahead.
We are ahead for now. And a throw in from Emerson to Antonio, who's on the edge of the box. He's bish bashing and boshing it about a bit. Oh, and yeah, we've lost it. Who was that? Oh, it was Coventry. Yeah, I think that was a fine example of play there by Connor Coventry as to why we very rarely see him on the football pitch, as it wasn't good.
Are you slightly surprised to still see him at the club? I mean, obviously, there are quite a few rumours that he'd be off in the summer, or at least looking at a loan somewhere.
It depends on what you're surprised to the point of maybe nobody wanted him. No, surprised to the point we actually wanted to keep him. Yes.
Yeah. Of course, another player that young player we thought was going to leave, didn't. We're expecting to see a bit more of his young Harrison Ashby. Of course, he's had his injury worries, but
he only jogged on a new contract as well. So basically, what's the point then?
Yeah.
If he said no, I kind of get the understanding of, right, well, okay then, mate, you're going. We're not going to develop you for someone else.
Yeah.
Kind of get that. Off you go, playing the reserves.
Yeah, absolutely. Totally agree. 13 shots for West Ham so far tonight after 50 minutes. I do believe prior to tonight, in our last 5 Premier League matches, we'd racked up something like 80 shots at goal, which was not bad for a manager who's apparently defensively minded and not concerned to, or not willing to throw caution to the wind at any point.
This is true. Just a shame we're not. It's the thing, we're not even working to keep them much, are we?
No, he's not had an awful, lot to do. Has he really? A couple of saves, but you can't say he's pulled off any excellent stops so far. It's all been pretty run of the mill stuff, hasn't it? But have you noticed a sort of willing from West Ham to shoot from a distance a little more in the last few weeks? What's your view on?
We do seem to be, don't we? It's a shame it's not really working. But, you only score them if you shoot them.
Yeah, Ben Rama, of course, has long been criticised for shooting from distance. Skamaka likes a dip, doesn't he, from distance as well?
Yes,
he's not averse to it.
But then he has scored a nice one from distance, I think.
Yes.
1-0.
Scored in the Conference League, didn't he? Decent goal from outside the box. I'm trying to think who that was. Was it Anderlecht, or it might have been this lot actually? But anyway, 52 minutes gone, coming up to 53 minutes gone. Still West Ham United 1, Silkeborg 0. West Ham in complete control, you'd have to say, of this game, but really could be 3, maybe 4, 5 ahead at this point, but just not taking our chances.
Silkeborg on the they just worked Areola there. He's had to make the save.
I mean, that's what we're saying, Nick, isn't it? That is the danger. We're so on top, just one lapse of concentration, and things like that can happen.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. It didn't look like in a million years it was going in, but nonetheless. Oh, here comes Antonio again, chasing the ball down. Oh, the nice little air kick and a Silkeborg player there. And now we're attacking again down the left. Lanzini's now running through the middle, being jostled off the ball. Oh, this has got to be a goal. Benny. Oh, it's offside. All right, fair enough. Offside flag is up.
We've had a couple of those as well, haven't we?
We have.
But Ben Rama involved again. Yeah, just not happening so far for West Ham. Well, apart from the penalty, of course. Yeah, I'm just seeing that chance again. Well, hopefully I'm seeing that chance again. It's Lanzini who lays the ball through. A clever little pass to Ben Rama, who's just inside the box, but also just offside. There's no doubt about that one. The linesman's got that perfectly right. But good, nice little run from Manny Lanzini, Nick. We've not seen enough of that from him, have we, since he came back from that injury? He used to be full of little runs and jinks like that, but we've just not seen it, have we?
No, but then this is a case of, with the old adage of, bear in mind the opposition. It's all very well doing it against these in this competition. He's not got the legs to do it in the Premier League no more. And that's not a criticism of him. He's just not a shadow of his former self. And that's Thornell's giving the bloody ball away again, isn't it? Hook him, Dave. Hook him.
What are we thinking? Re-substitutions? Do you think any are imminent? And we seem to have a lot of players on the bench that you expect to be starting at Old Trafford on Sunday. So I'm not sure we're going to see too many subs.
There's the danger sign. Acrobatic save there from Areola.
Yep.
And that's out for a corner. Subs, I'd be giving the three of the main ones a run out, to be honest. Rice, Skamaka, and who else have we got? Let me go full screen so I can see. Oh, I can't see. Hang on. I can't see who's on the bloody bench. Let's have a look. Is it on the BBC?
It's
I know it's behind us, but I've blown it up and I can't read it.
going back to that save by Areola. I'm just trying to see if that was on target, but I'm not sure if he might have been narrowly offside. But yeah, it is on target, and it's a really, really strong save by Areola. Yeah. To have strong hands there. I'm just seeing the view from going. Yeah, it's definitely going in. It's going in the top right from an acute angle from the Silkeborg player. But it's a really good shot. It's Tengsted to hit it really well, and Areola fortunately up to the challenge. But just signs in it. We're looking a little bit. I wouldn't say weak at the back, but they've had chances anyway.
They're having their chances. There's. What would I bring on? I'd bring on Skamaka, Downs, and Rice. I think. Give them
bring on the big guns, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a few signs that Silkeborg are beginning to get back into this game. You, by the looks of it, Kent Nielsen, their managers, had a word at half-time and perhaps told them to be a little bit more forward-thinking than they were in the first half. Of course, perhaps that was just their game plan to soak it up in the first half and then, be a little bit more offensive after the break. But anyway, whatever the reason is, they are definitely a much, much better side in this second half. But of course, that is leaving gaps at the back. I've just seen Emerson go on a little run on the left-hand side. Didn't come to anything, but West Ham are going to get more chances the longer this game goes. I mean, what do you think? Given that they're going to be in second regardless of what happens here tonight, you kind of wondering why it's not a question of, well, let's just throw caution to the wind for Silkeborg and have a go at West Ham, and they've got nothing to lose really, if they apart from goal difference. No,
that's about it, really. Obviously we can't be caught as even at all, can we now? As it's, we're what? Christ, we're 9 points ahead. Yeah. So
if we win tonight, of course, yeah.
Oh yeah, it's as it stands. My mistake.
Yeah.
Still, nonetheless, no, we as it is. Even if we concede, we're not going to be caught. It's simple.
No, they have to win tonight for West Ham to need a result in that last game. A point is good enough for us here, isn't it, to win the group? But who knows? Still half hour to go, and there's been signs just to say that the Danish side are beginning to show a little bit of that form. That seems scored 10 goals in the last two Conference League outings.
They are, but I'm wondering if it's down to us taking our foot off the gas. I don't want to sound like I'm digging him out, but Fornells really does need to be hooked. He's actually having a bit of a stinker. He's I don't know. He's another one. Oh, Downs is going to be coming on. He's getting instructions from Nolan over on the touchline.
Do you expect that to be Coventry coming off?
I'd hope it's Fornells coming off,
Okay.
but yeah, probably Coventry.
Well, he's been playing in that sort of more advanced role, hasn't he, Flynn Downs, the last couple of games?
Yes,
Part
he
of
is.
Three-man
Basically,
central.
where Fornells is playing now, so maybe,
Hmm.
but he's not doing great.
I think that,
Just nearly mugged them off on the edge of their box again, but they managed to tidy it up and bring it out. But now we've got back possession with Fornells. Little ball over to Antonio. What's happened here? Why's that been flagged? Oh, and ball for Fornells, who's claiming it hit his chest. Didn't really see it, to be honest. But Antonio was in. But it was a one-on-one with a keeper and Antonio, so it wouldn't have been a goal.
there you go. West Ham finally beginning to show some potency in front of goal, shall we say? They've not really had an awful lot to show in this second half. Fornells pretty much our only effort on goal since the half-time interval in the first 15 minutes of this half. Bearing in mind we had sort of 12 shots in the first half, it's it kind of gives some indication of the way the game has turned a little bit. But anyway, good to see your comments on Aguerd there. David O'Rourke saying, I really like the look of him. Mark Pearce, nice, calm and composed tackle by our Moroccan defender. Do you think, what sort of role do you think he's going to play? I mean, it's going to be one of the, and we joke about, Nick, don't we, about it's like having a new signing, but it really is. I mean, he's a new signing, obviously, but it's like having a new signing again when he eventually comes back into the team.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't really know too much about him, but I've only read good things about him. So hopefully he'll make this more solid in defence. So what does that mean? Dawson, when he's fit, does that mean Dawson's back out and our back four of who? Cresswell, Aguerd, Zuma and Kera, I suppose.
Yeah, you kind of get the feeling that Moyes is looking at Kera as a fullback, don't you, as opposed to a centre half. But
is Emerson is running into the box. Oh, and their player just got in as he pulled the trigger to make the cross, and that's a corner to West Ham United.
Corner number 3 for West Ham coming up. 2 in the first half, first one of the second half.
And I think Emerson is going to take the corner as well, by the looks of things.
Yep, no Aaron Cresswell out there tonight, of course.
The Gerd is coming up from the back. Oh no, Fornells is taking the corner. So let's see how this comes in. He raises his arm up, he hoists it in, and it clears absolutely everybody. Benrahma! Oh, saved by the keeper, corner on the other side.
So West Ham beginning to turn the screw a little bit at last in this second half. Been off the boil since half time.
We have Benrahma should have scored there. He took to one too many touches. Oh, actually, it might even be a goal kick. I didn't see who it came off. Whack. Oh no, that is a corner. That is a corner. Coming in from the right this time. Flicked on by Emerson, was it? Or was that Johnson? It's all the way back to the halfway line. Now Fornells is now running into the middle. Plays it back to Lanzini. Back over the halfway line to number 32, Coventry. Big difference to when Tevez wore that, isn't it?
Yeah.
We're just out of the back.
Going back to
Tevez. Dyer, wasn't it?
Sorry?
Who had the 32 before Tevez? It was Dyer, wasn't it?
I have no idea. No idea. I can tell you in a minute. Bear with me, and I'll let you know in a sec. I'm just going back to that Benrahma effort. The keeper was beaten, and it came off sort of Felix, the number 4's left foot. I'm not sure he knew an awful lot
No.
about it, did he?
No, he didn't. But I still think he took one too many touches, I think.
Yeah.
If he whacked that first time, the defender was already on the floor. He committed himself.
Yeah. Should have
And
scored,
he
though.
hoisted that with his left foot. Looks like Skamaka is going to be coming on along with Downs. Because Skamaka is stripped.
And what do you make of Michail Antonio's performance so far? Of course, he won us the penalty.
I don't think he's done particularly well. He's just looks to me to have been full of huff and puff. The Michail Antonio that, for the most part, we've seen for the last year.
A history of before that happens, I'll give you a brief history of the number 32 shirt at West Ham. Darren Blewett, remember him? Played in that youth team alongside the likes of Rio Ferdinand back in the late 90s. Not sure he ever got a first team appearance, but he was the custodian of the 32 shirt from 2003. Carlos Tevez, of course. Who had it after Carlos Tevez? David D. McKaylee. Remember David D. McKaylee?
I do indeed. When
And,
I think of him, I just think of the kit with the number covering up the XL.
Yes, yes, indeed. It was then passed on to another Italian, Alessandro Diamante, wore the number 30 from 2009. Thereafter, well, actually, the next person to wear it was someone who was back at the London Olympic Stadium last weekend. Ever guess who that might have been?
Gary O'Neill.
Gary O'Neill, of course it was. Yeah, Gary O'Neill wore the number 32 shirt from 2011 onwards. Reece Burke, centre half, had it briefly, and then Connor Coventry. The last person to wear the number 32.
We have just
West
had the
Ham.
ball in the back of the net, but it was
Yes.
blatantly offside.
Yes, I think the decision was given before the ball was turned over the line. It was a cross coming in from the right hand side. I think it was Soufal, but both Antonio, who eventually put the ball in the net, and Fornells, who received the cross, were both offside. So it doesn't count. But anyway, nice to see the net ripple after a while.
Oh, this is looking dangerous from them. They're building up down our right. And that could have gone anywhere. It's gone out for a throw-in, but who was it that went to clear? Oh, Bonner's gone to clear it, and he very, very nearly made a complete hash of it. Could quite easily got an own goal in, but he didn't. But Silkeborg are on the attack again. This is not concerning per se, but I wouldn't be surprised if a random shot, a random mistake like Bonner nearly did then, and they equalise.
Yeah. Yeah, you kind of get the feeling you get a call from the goalkeeper there.
Yeah.
What's your view on Ogbonna? I mean, he's played nearly all the European games, hasn't he? But David Moyes doesn't seem to have enough faith in him to put him back in for the Premier League matches. You thinking that's just a fitness thing?
I think it's a fitness and abilities thing. He really has. Sadly, because I've liked Angelo, I think he's a shadow of his former self since his injury. I'm very surprised to have actually seen him come back from it.
Right.
But he has is testament to him. Don't get me wrong, but I think it's one step too far. Fornells has been hooked. He doesn't look particularly happy about it, but it's hardly surprising. He's been absolutely bloody awful, and that's it. He's being replaced by Downs, and Ben Rama is coming off as well, which is a tad confusing when Antonio's done bugger all apart from fall over for a penalty.
I just wonder if Moyes has got one eye on using Ben Rama on Sunday at Old Trafford, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. But then, I don't know, bring someone else on for Ben Rama. Because to leave Antonio on is, I think, we're playing with 10 men at the moment. I think he's been that bad.
Of course, what it does mean, Nick, is that David Moyes is going to be playing two up top. You would assume, unless Antonio's coming out onto the left-hand side, which, of course, is something that lots of fans have been calling for in recent weeks.
Yeah. No, I just don't think Antonio's been on the ball, has he, this season and the end of last. He's had his purple patch, and we missed the trick not offering him when we could have got the good money for him. I may have said that before.
There's a couple of changes for the visitors. Klinger has been replaced by Carland. And also another change. We've seen Adamson come on for Hellenius, who was playing as a sole striker and barely been involved. Hadn't seen him at all, to be fair, in the game. So double change for both teams anyway, as we approach the last 20 minutes of the game.
Yeah. And what we've got here, let's run through some scores. Hearts 2, Rigas 1, West Ham 1, Silkeborg 0. Fiorentina 2, Istanbul is a 1 is a final score. Austria Vienna and Let's Poznan 1-1 and Elect FCSB 2-2. Nice 2, Partizan Belgrade 1. FC Vaduz LZ Alkmaar 1-2 full time. Dnipro and Limassol is 1-0 at 63 minutes. The Scandinavian derby is 2-2 at 69 minutes. Did you see what I did there? So I didn't have to pronounce them. And Shamrock.
Scandinavian derby.
Shamrock and Genk is 1-0 to Shamrock at 65 minutes too.
Good stuff. Going back to the Ogbonna question, Mark Pierce says that I've seen posters on KUMB say that Ogbonna should be playing all season. And Moyes has no excuses for his defensive woes. There you go. Yeah, been a lot of criticism of the boss lately. Just see a long ball go a few moments ago, a long ball over the top from Silkeborg that kind of caught Agerd and Johnson out there deep in conversation about it, asking each other who was at fault. But just got to be a bit careful. I mean, there are chances. This seems to be, Nick, going very much the way of pretty much every other game so far this season for me, in that it looks like West Ham are going to probably, I mean, you know, being a bit presumptuous maybe, but you'd probably expect West Ham to go on and win this game. But once again, without any sort of style or, you know, real sort of conviction.
No, exactly right. Exactly right. We've looked quite all over the place again. Don't get me wrong. I understand the Agerd and Johnson thing. I mean, we've got Johnson playing at centre back when he's a fullback, with a centre back who is just returned from injury. Yeah, can kind of understand that. It's the outfield players that kind of boggle me at the moment. Although we've got a nice little thing going on here. Skamaka. Oh, penalty. No, that should have been a penalty. I'm sure that he's had. Seen a given. Skamaka just tried a nifty little back heel. Looked like it did come off the hand of the Silkeborg player, but play continued. It's now out for a throw-in for us, in line with the edge of the penalty box. And it's just, it's like school playground stuff. It's not very good. It's frustrating to watch. We don't seem to be. I don't want to keep sounding critical, but it's kind of schoolboy errors that we're making with our passing.
Yeah.
We would, as silly as it sounds, just to bring a little bit of, I don't know, what's the word? Little bit of stability to the team. We've got 28 minutes, 18 minutes to go. Hook Coventry, bring our skipper on. Just to shore it up and bring a bit of quality back onto the pitch. Because at the moment, we're playing like these people have never played together.
Yeah, it's really not coming on. It's made me chuckle when you use the word stability there, because I was thinking if that's what we want, perhaps we should bring Rishi Sunak on as a substitute, given that's been the buzzword for the new or the newly created.
Oh, yes.
Stability.
I could come out with a joke, but it's not particularly correct, so I won't say anything.
All right, tell me after. Mark Pierce says that was nearly magic between Skamaka and Antonio. Yeah, Skamaka threading the ball through for Antonio a few moments ago, and just couldn't quite get on the end of it. It's just a bit too heavy, but good to see them on the right wavelength, or the same wavelength there together. 74 minutes gone almost. West Ham still leading by that Lanzini penalty after 23 minutes. Nothing else in it. Plenty of chances for the Hammers, just haven't taken them so far. Craven offering an alternative view about tonight's game, saying that, let's be fair, we don't really need to go at them. We've got a tough game on Sunday. I'll happily take a scrappy 1-0 now. I think that's a fair point, don't you, Nick?
Yeah, I think it's a fair point. What's WhatsApping you the joke I was going to say.
Right. Okay. I shall dig it out in just a moment. Looks like we've got another substitution coming up shortly for West Ham. Or it's been made. Just waiting for confirmation. Yeah, it's Tilo Kehrer coming on now. I'd imagine this is. I haven't seen it yet, but I'd imagine it's Aguerd coming off for the last 15 or 16 minutes. He's actually done pretty well, hasn't he, to last this long? I mean, I think a lot of
done very well.
Might start and play 45 or sort of come on after the hour mark, but yeah, he's gone out from the off and pretty much a full 90 under his belt, which is encouraging anyway from West Ham's perspective.
He's done all right. He looks a tiny little player.
To be fair, I mean, this is probably the perfect game, isn't it, for a player coming back from injury at the back, because he's not really been stretched at all, and it's been quite, almost a bit like a training match in some sense.
Yes, but it's still not really worked. No, I mean 3 points. Hopefully, 3. Oh, it's a bit naughty on Kufo there. Free kick. No, 3 points. At the end of the day, it's 3 points in a European group game. So.
Yeah, and it, of course, would if it was to remain that way, or if West Ham were to extend that lead by any more, it would mean sure that West Ham are still the only team in the Conference League this season with a 100% record so far. So that's got to be worth it, regardless.
Absolutely, quite right.
And Mark Pearce also agreeing with Craven. Can't argue with that, he says, although we may see some posters who paid to go offering a different view on the forum, which again is also a fair point, I think.
Yeah.
Another yellow card handed out a few moments ago. Second one for Silkeborg. I'm trying to see the number. It's number 25.
Oh,
yeah, I mean,
Thilo. There's my man. He's settled in well now, isn't he?
He had a couple of problems in the first game. Brighton when he gave away the penalty, own goal just after that. But he's looking at home now, isn't he? Fair to say.
He is indeed. He's, for me, pound for pound so far, he's been the signing of the season. Still not entirely sure, and this again is not a criticism, but I'm just basing it on the price tag. I'm not entirely sure Scamacca is like, how much do we pay for him? 35 mil? Not sure at this stage of his career he is a £35 million striker, to be honest. And that's not criticism of him, because I love watching him. I think he's a superb player, but for me he's not a £35 million player. And Paqueta, I think we may, as things stand, not saying he's a bad player, but I think we've overpaid for him too. And I'm still on that rather than dud. So he's lost the D, but I'm not seeing any great shakes with him. And no, wasn't expecting him to be our new Paye or whatever, because I fully understand that they play different positions. But he doesn't look like a club record signing player yet.
So we could say he's less a dud and more dubious, say perhaps.
No, a dud. He's a dud.
He's a dud, not dubious. Okay, he's just a dud.
Yeah, and if he can get down to dud, then even better.
Yeah,
I'm still not convinced with him. He's played some. He's done a couple of nice assists. Don't get me wrong, and stuff. But I don't feel he's. Yeah, he's a club record signing ability as things stand. Whereas Kehrer, for 10 million, goodness me, what a signing.
Would you be saying the same about Skamaka and Paqueta if they were £10 million signings?
Oh, without a shadow of a doubt. Without a shadow of a doubt.
Okay. I was going to suggest there that your judgment might have been clouded slightly by the number of zeros at the end of their transfer fees, but
well, no, if we're paying that sort of money for them, I don't know about. I think that's maybe a little unfair saying it was clouded by the amount of zeros. If we're paying that sort of money, I expect that sort of, to match up to their transfer fees. Do you know what I mean?
I do know what you mean, but then I'm also kind of wary of the fact that.
I know it was nearly 1-1, by the way.
Yeah, close. Sebastian Haller was our record signing. Our second, or a previous prior to that, Felipe Anderson was our record signing. We've had a couple of very big, expensive signings. Of course, Nico Vlasic, £30 million.
Yeah.
It's sort of almost worked. I was going to say it doesn't. The money doesn't always translate to a successful career at West Ham. I think it's further than that. You could almost argue that the more they cost, the less successful they've been in terms of our most expensive signings. Good chance for Silkeborg there.
I've mentioned on here before, there seems to be the curse of the West Ham record signing, going quite a way back, really. Although I still don't think that Haller was particularly a big failure. I think we did. We got taking out his health issues and stuff. It could be like, oh, now we've dodged a bullet. But those aside, I still think we made the mistake in selling him. I've made it clear on this channel previously that we sell him and then bring in Jesse Lingard, who would have actually, the form that Lingard was in that time, would have actually been perfect foil for Haller. Because Haller was a striker. He was signed to score goals, and he scored goals for us. But he didn't smile, and he was supposedly a lamppost. And then ended up leaving and becoming a Champions League top scorer. Yeah, you're not a bad player if you're Champions League top scorer. You're not a lamppost. So yes,
I think you're right. I think that's what it was. I think it's because he didn't smile enough. That was the biggest problem.
And that's the thing, isn't it? I quite believe. I don't know if you said it in jest, but. And now we've got Skamaka, looks like a movie star with all his tattoos and his dyed hair and whatever. And he's got the image of the flair Italian player. And yeah, we do, as AGM said, do we have to overpay to get them in? Well, maybe we might have to overpay on wages, I would have thought. But transfer fees, I'm actually not so sure that we do have to pay over the odds on transfer fees, because it's not the transfer fee that convinces a manager to come and play for, in European terms, a fourth tier club. It's the wages. It doesn't affect the player how much we pay for him. It's what we pay for him in wages, in my humble.
I think the point there, you could argue that the fees we would have to pay for a Paqueta or a Haller are fees that for a club that is perhaps challenging for the Champions League is kind of meat or drink. You see Chelsea and Liverpool pay 75, 80 million pounds for a goalkeeper. You see Manchester United pay 80 million pounds for what's his name, Slabhead from Leicester. They paid 50. Yeah, they paid 50, 60 million pounds for Wan-Bissaka from Palace. For West Ham to be in the hunt for players of that caliber, I guess that's the sort of region of fees you've got to pay, isn't it? So I guess it probably isn't in terms of other clubs, but maybe for West Ham it does look like we're overpaying, because compared to our peers, and by which I'm talking about the 6th to 12th places in the Premier League, that is a very, very expensive fee. We're just seeing Declan Rice and Thomas Souček coming on.
They're about to come on. Coventry's coming out. Who else is coming off? Lanzini, I would have thought. I'm thinking of who else they'd be bringing off. Bonner. Bonner's coming up. Oh, no, he's not. He was just going to say hello to Dick. Antonio coming off. He's had a shocking game. He truly has. He should have been. This is the thing, the comment that we get made about Antonio. oh yeah, he bullies defenders and stuff like that. And I think, none of that against the side where arguably he should have been tearing them a new one. But he's been ineffective. He's been a ashtray on a motorbike.
Yeah, he's not been at the races at all, has he?
No.
But do you get the feeling that perhaps some of these players are sort of playing 80% capacity, maybe given the circumstances? They don't want to get injured. It's a bit of a nothing tie. We're pretty much through to the next stage. I mean, I guess you could understand the
You can understand it, but Antonio's just been not very good, and I'm sorry if it sounds like I'm digging him out, because I am.
Mm-hmm.
He's just not been very good today, regardless. If you've had players like Lanzini who have, regardless of his limited ability now, he's given it a go. You've had in Coventry, regardless of he's not the greatest player in the world, he's given it a go. Whereas Antonio's just bowled about the pitch, run, dive to, which ultimately could well prove to be the winning goal, but nonetheless he's cheated for a penalty in my book. And he just hasn't been at the races. And considering he's now got competition, he's not really doing himself any favours, is he? You'd think that having another striker alongside him now, fighting him for his place, would give him a kick out the backside. But when he came on against, did he come on or did he play against Bournemouth? All he seemed to do was fall over. That's not what we want to see from a West Ham player. Graft, run for the ball. And for someone who's such a unit, this is a dangerous ball, but Ariola's out. No, he's not. No, not for me. He seems to be just another player that was rewarded with too big a contract at the wrong time. Who's past his best.
There you go. Do you agree with Nick on Antonio, or do you think he's a bit harsh? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget, if you haven't already done so, and down that side, give us a little thumbs up, give us a like. As we approach the final, or into the final 5 minutes, nearly the last 4 minutes of normal time here. West Ham still leading Silkeborg by a goal to nil. The only goal coming in the 24th minute. Manuel Lanzini from the penalty spot. Since then, it's been pretty much thin pickings for the Hammers. I had a few shots in the second half. Where are we up to now? Let's have a quick look at our stats. We're now up to 14 shots, 5 on target. Only 2 shots in the second half for West Ham, which is pretty poor. We've seen 2 from the visitors. Interestingly, Silkeborg have had 3 shots in the game, and all 3 have been on target. But they trail by a goal to nil.
Indeed. And on that note, I'm going to run because I now cannot find a comfortable position that I'm sitting in.
All right, buddy.
Really.
No problem. Well, thank you.
I'll catch you later. I'll see you at the weekend, hopefully.
All right, see you at Man U. Thanks, Nick.
Bye.
There you go. And then there was one. So West Ham, thanks to Nick for joining us for the stream. And let's see if West Ham can get one more goal and just put a bit of a shine on it. I mean, it's a very similar game in a way to the Bournemouth game, isn't it? At the moment, we haven't played particularly well. It looks like we're going to win. Maybe we'll get a late second goal to maybe make the game look a little bit more comfortable than the scoreline might suggest. Although, in fairness, it has been comfortable for West Ham. It's been almost like a training exercise at times, hasn't it? But what are your thoughts? Let me know what you think about Antonio. Nick was making the point about players like Coventry and Lanzini have given their all. I guess the point that I didn't get the opportunity to make there was that players like that have got to fight to get a place in the squad, whereas Antonio, regardless of how he plays tonight, he knows he's going to be in the 18 for or the 20 for Manchester on Sunday. I mean, would you be disappointed if you'd been at the London Olympic Stadium to watch this? Perhaps you are. Perhaps you're listening to us on the stream while you're there. But let me know. Let me know what you're thinking. Craven, no, I will be streaming on Sunday. I will not be at Old Trafford this weekend, so there will be a stream this weekend. Nick, I'm sure, will be joining me. I think Noam is joining us as well on Sunday. Spoke to him earlier. He's not able to get to the game now. So it looks like there will be 2 or 3 of us on the stream on Sunday. Antonio's not been good since Christmas, to be honest, says AGXM. fair point. So I've just seen Mark's comment about Nick's cheesecake. Yes, Pellegrini wasted so much money, didn't he? Says Craven. Roberto and Anderson. Well, Roberto didn't cost a fee, so the only outlay there was wages and agents' fees. But Anderson, I still like him. I still think he had. I mean, he was actually in the press this week speaking. He's in a bit of a rich vein of form at the moment in Serie A, and he made some pretty disparaging comments about David Moyes earlier in the week. But I think he's a good player. G, good to see you. 4:45 in the morning, live from Hong Kong. Whatever possessed you to get on the stream at this time of morning, my friend? I hope you're well, and this will probably send you back to sleep. This game, so it's probably the best response to not being able to sleep. Just watch a bit of this game. Anyway, we're in the final minute on my stream. 89 minutes gone. West Ham leading by 1-0. Doesn't look like we're going to get any more goals at this rate, but we're going to get a couple added on. West Ham, as it stands, would be 9 points clear at the top of the Group B table. I mean, you can pretty much guarantee that we've qualified now as group winners, given that we'd have to lose this game for that not to happen. And there's really not enough time for Silkeborg to score 2 goals now. The away fans enjoying themselves still, though. The 1,200 Danish fans have made the trek across the North Sea from Danish land to England, enjoying their trip, and good luck to them. They looked after West Ham supporters while they're out there, so I wish them all the best and have a safe journey home. West Ham attacking on the right hand side. Soufal gets to the byline, pulls it across, looks for Skamaka, but it's too short, and goalkeeper Larson is able to come out and claim that one quite comfortably. We're just waiting to find out how much added on time is going to be played at the end of the game here. But yeah, it's been pretty nondescript kind of tie, really. But it's job done as far as West Ham are concerned, really. 3 minutes added on. Can confirm it's 3 minutes have been added on. So definitely no time for Silkeborg to get back in this game. And we have seen Tommy Souček go in the book. I'm not quite sure what for. It's a bit of an innocuous challenge. I mean, it was a foul, but not quite sure it's deserving of a yellow card. To be fair, he's number 24. The Silkeborg number 24. He's stood on his foot. I think it was pretty accidental. I'm not sure he meant to do it, but it's the substitute Augustin who gave out a little cry of pain. And it was enough for the referee to award a free kick and a yellow card. In that instance, the resulting free kick comes in, delivered deep into the box. Can Silkeborg get something back? It's headed down, but West Ham can tidy up, and Flynn Downs plays it to Declan Rice, who plays it back down the line for Lanzini. Plays it back to Rice, but Rice done really well to retain possession there. And it's Skamaka here. Now, if you can see Emerson, he's got space. Indeed, he does. Emerson on the left-hand side. He's got Rice in front of him. Rice is offside. He can't play it to him. Declan, get onside. He does eventually, and the boys play to him. Rice into the box on the left-hand side. Turns back. Looks up. What options has he got? Plays it short on the edge of the box to Souček. Souček turns. Looks to see what he's got out wide on the right. He finds Flynn Downs. But West Ham just keeping possession now. The chance looks like it's gone, but Downs has the ball. Plays it out on the right to Soufal. Back into Downs. Downs back again, once again to Soufal, 20 yards from goal on the right-hand side. Souček loses possession. It's a throw into West Ham. Jet Langdon just woken up, says G. I saw the score pop on my phone, so thought I'd tune in. Hope you had a safe flight, enjoyable flight, G. Flynn Downs has the ball right in the corner flags, pressed by 2 players. And it's a throw and one by West Ham, and we're in the final minute of the 3 added on at the end of the match now. Downs asking for a free kick. The linesman says no, tells him to get on with it. Not quite sure what Downs is arguing about there. Given that West Ham have been, no, it's actually a corner that West Ham won. It's not a throw-in. Not quite sure what Downs was worrying about there. West Ham play it short, no intent to put it in the box, just trying to keep possession, which is a bit disappointing, really. You'd like to see us maybe score a second one, but that is it. Well, that's going to be the last chance of an attack in the game, I would imagine. Lanzini has the ball, crosses it in. It's a dreadful cross. And Silkeborg can perhaps create one last attack. Goes back to the goalkeeper, who hoists it long down the centre of the pitch, looking for the number 9. But Angelo Ogbonna is first to the ball. And that is the final whistle, 93 minutes and 4 seconds. And our referee, Uni Hitia, blows for full time. West Ham, comfortable, never really looked under any threat. Neither did Alfonso Areola, though he had to make one excellent save. We'll come back to that shortly. And in the end, it's Manuel Lanzini's penalty in the 24th minute that is the difference between the two sides, as West Ham secure a 5th successive Conference League win and move on to the last 16. No need to play in the playoffs. We have won Group B. West Ham remain the only team in the Conference League with a 100% record so far. Villarreal losing theirs courtesy of that draw they had tonight. Let's have a quick look to see what's going on elsewhere before I take you through the highlights, or should I say the lowlights of the second half. Some full-time results here. We've given you the earlier ones. Let's just go through what's happening now. These are all in the final throws, the final few seconds of the matches. Dnipro 1, Apollon 0, Apollon down to 10 men. Sivasspor 3 up against Cluj. Slovan Bratislava 2, Punic 1, Basel and Zalgiris 2-2, Hearts 2, RFS 1, a bit of a morale booster for the Edinburgh side there. Balkani 0, Slavia Prague 1. Shamrock Rovers were winning 1-0 against Ghent. They led for so much of the game, but Hyeon Suk Hong has equalised for the Belgian side to break the Irish Hearts there in that one. Mulder and Djurgården, the Scandi derby, as Nick referred to it, is going the way of the Swedes now. Mulder were 2-1 up at half-time. But Djurgården now lead 3-2. Joel Asoro and Haris Radetinic scoring in the 67th and 76th minute for Djurgården to give the Swedes the advantage there in that tie. Let's have a quick look round just to see how that leaves the tables. Nice and Partizan, it's between them two to see who will qualify automatically for the last 16. Both on 8 points in Group D. Group A, let's go back to the top. Group A, Istanbul, Başakşehir and Fiorentina locked neck and neck at 10 points each after 5 games in that Group A. Either team could be going through there. West Ham, of course, Group B winners, 15 points from a possible 15, 10 goals for, 6 against. A goal difference of +6. Silkeborg go into their final game a point ahead of third place Anderlecht, and knowing that a draw will be enough to take them through to the knockout phase. In Group C, Villarreal are through to the next phase as winners. They've taken 13 points from their opening 5 games. In Group D, as I said, Nice and Partizan locked neck and neck on 4 points. Alkmaar and Dnipro first and second in Group E. Alkmaar 12 points from 5, Dnipro 10. So Dnipro could potentially go through as group winners there. In Group F, Djurgården are group winners now, or at least will be once this result's confirmed. 13 points from 5 games. So very, very strong record. They might be one to watch in the latter stages of the competition, going well in their domestic competition too. Sivasspor or Cluj or Slavia Prague, any one of those 3 could win Group G, I think, at the moment, the way that stands. Sivasspor 10 points, Cluj and Prague 7 points each. And finally, in Group H, Slovan Bratislava and Basel have 8 points each, and Punic have 6. So I guess they could just about go through as group winners. So nothing really confirmed yet. But what did you make of West Ham's performance tonight? Clever Trevor probably sums it up, I think, for many of us, to just saying it's job done. Boring game, and again, final third, dismal display. It has been a little bit like that, hasn't it? Scrappy win, says AGXM. Certainly was a bit like that. Man of the match. I'm going to wrap up in a couple of minutes. No time for post-match chats with some of the lads who are at the stadium tonight, I'm afraid, as I have to crack on and get some content written for KUMB. So very, very quickly, let's have your man of the match, if you can, before we go. Looking ahead, what have we got this week? Manchester United on Sunday. It's to Old Trafford we go to face Manchester United. They're not really firing on all cylinders at the moment, are they? In 6th place, I think, as things stand in the Premier League, would be a huge, huge win for West Ham if we could go there and get a result. one of those grounds where we don't generally perform too well. And of course, David Moyes' record against the top six isn't particularly impressive at any point during his career, let alone at West Ham. So going on historical results, you probably wouldn't be expecting too much, but you never know. Fortune's always hiding and all that sort of thing. And then, of course, it's the final game in the Conference League. It's Anderlecht. Sorry, not Anderlecht, FCSB. Probably the easiest of the three teams, smashed by 5 home and away by tonight's opponents, Silkeborg. They're out of the competition. They can't do anything, and you'd expect that to be a bit of a walk in the park for West Ham. I'd imagine David Moyes will put out a second string, or at least as strong a second string as is possible for that particular game. But anyway, do come and join us on Sunday for the trip to Old Trafford. If you're not going, if you are going, safe journey. Have a good trip up there and on the way back. Very quickly before we go, Mark Pearce has got in ahead of the cut. Man of the match says no one really shone, so I'll give it to again. I think that's a very fair shout, Mark. We are going to call it a day there. I'd seen Gnome's just jumped on to try and get the stream. I should apologise if you're watching Gnome. We're gonna wrap it up there now, as I have to crack on. But that's it. West Ham 5 out of 5, 100% record. The only team in the Conference League still with that record, courtesy of a 1-0 win tonight. Let's just quickly go through the highlights of the second half. I mean, there weren't really too many. The best chance of the second half fell to our opponents when Areola made a couple of saves actually in the second half, but it was a save midway through the half. I'm just trying to find it on my notes now. I can't find it. There it is, 55 minutes. It was Tengstedt who had the shot on target. It was heading goal bound, and Areola had to get up and put a strong fist up to send it over the bar. But West Ham created very, very little in the second half, so it's not really worth going for it anyway. Pretty run-of-the-mill win, but a win nonetheless, and West Ham are on course to be back in Europe next year. Thanks, everyone. Take care. Get yourselves over to KUMB for some post-match debate, and let us know what you think on the general discussion forum. Lots going on there. Don't forget, I should also give a shout out to Korea Hammer's West Ham United player, best player in history competition that's going in. 128 players. He's putting in a poll. We're going to have one poll every day to decide who is the best West Ham player. It's not ever. I think we're only including players from about 1960 onwards, but get yourself onto the forum, have a vote in the daily polls that are going to be going on there for the next few weeks throughout the World Cup. Anyway, that's about it from me and the team tonight. As I say, it has finished. West Ham United 1, Silkeborg 0. The Hammers march on to the next stage of the Conference League as group winners. Can't ask for much more than that. Take care of yourselves, folks. We'll see you all again very soon. And as always, come on, you irons.